Welcome back, fellow shop rats. Today we're going to talk about what do you do when you said something on a video and your information wasn't accurate. This could be interesting. After all, it is Talk About It Tuesday, so let's just talk about it. I'm Mike.
This is My Cars Shop.
One of the challenges that I always have, and I think everybody on YouTube does, especially those who share a lot of information, is you're gonna say stuff wrong. You have a brain fart in the moment where your brain just goes and you say things wrong. It just happened on the video that aired today, which was about a month from when you're seeing this, when I was talking about open loop and closed loop, and I got them backwards. I didn't realize I had gotten it wrong until after the video had published. What do you do then? Well, you can't go back. You can take the video down. Now, in that case, it wasn't the point of the video, and many of the channel regulars were very gracious to say, hey, it's the opposite, and cool, I love that, because I don't claim to know everything, and I don't claim to get everything right, and a lot of times in the moment, I'll say something I didn't even realize I said. But it does beg the question, what do you do? Well, you know what? At the end of the day, we're obviously not going to teach things wrong. We're not going to say things wrong. That's not the intent, although it does make for adding a lot more comments in the video, I will admit that.
I don't do that on purpose, I promise. I promise I don't.
What I've learned in my 300 and probably at this point close to 400 videos on YouTube in about 2 years, let it go. It ain't that big a deal. If you're coming to my channel as 100% gospel and not doing your own research, that's kind of on you. I mean, I know a lot. I know that. I don't proclaim to be an expert. But, my job is to present you some information that will give you something to dig in a little further with. Now, I know most of y'all get that and you know that. But, I know a lot of the viewers on the channel are either similar channels to mine as far as size. There's some that are a lot smaller. There's some that are aspiring to start channels. And I thought this was a topic that was worth spending a little bit of time talking about. Even over 30 plus years ago, when I was a professional mechanic, I would easily confuse myself on things. I knew what I was trying to say, but sometimes I would say things wrong, like in an air conditioning system, the evaporator core and the condenser. Now, if I think about it for a minute, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I believe the evaporator is the one under the dash and the condenser is the one in front of the radiator. But I could have that wrong because I didn't spend any time really thinking about it. I'm just going off the top of my head. So if I got it wrong, I'm sure he'll say that. But I would get them backwards. And, that's just kind of without taking time to find those little tricks like I did with drum brakes, where the primary shoe is the puny shoe and always goes forward. I just never took the time to, open loop, closed loop, condenser, evaporator core, and I'm sure there are a lot of other things like that. But here's the thing about the way I view the channel, which is really kind of the point of this video. I view the channel like we're sitting around in the shop bench racing, and most of y'all know what that is, where we're just sitting around the shop talking, and we got on the subject of, well, today it's on the subject of saying things incorrectly on a YouTube video, but we were talking about cooling systems, for example, and I'm blathering along and I said open loop, closed loop wrong, and one of you guys pipes up and say, hey, I think you mean blah blah blah. Oh yeah, right, yeah. The only difference is that in the video, you don't have the opportunity to speak back live and bring that correction into the conversation. But that really is the way I view these Talk About It Tuesdays, is we're just having a discussion, and I might be wrong, and I might get it incorrect, and I might misspeak myself, and we all do it, don't we? So, I think anybody that comes to YouTube and looks at something and says, this person is the absolute guru at X, Y, and Z, and their word should never be questioned, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. We're responsible to do our own homework. I'll give you an example from my own reality. I was just recently watching some videos on how different people have made their chassis table. I already have a pretty good idea how I'm going to make mine, as I shared in a recent video, but I was watching how other people make their chassis table. And one video in particular, the guy was doing a small pickup. I don't know if it was a Toyota, but he was making a drag race truck, I believe, or at least a truck that was slammed. I'm not sure. I didn't watch it that far. But he had his axles mounted to the chassis table, which I understand that. And then he was putting the body on. A couple of things that he did that I thought, the body guy in me questions that. He put the cab on. He kind of mounted the fenders, but there was no inner structure for the fenders, and there was no doors on the cab, and there was no box behind it. And he's mounting this to the chassis table to help set up the body over the frame. And I thought, I'm not sure exactly what he's thinking there, and I didn't watch enough of the video, so I didn't jump to any conclusions or make any comments. But I thought to myself, I don't think I would trust that alignment of those fenders to the cab, and I certainly can't trust the alignment of the cab to the box that isn't there. My concern is that if things aren't lined up right, you could have a cab and a bed like this, or fenders like this to the door, or whatever. And so personally, if I was doing that project, I would have mounted those door shells and that box onto that chassis table to make sure that the alignment is correct. Because I'm, as a former body guy, I'm kind of particular about making sure that fender to door and door to cab and cab to box all line up properly. But I got a lot from the video, and I got a lot of ideas from the video, and it's going to cause me to rethink a couple of things that I was planning to do on the Golden Mullet project. So to me, even though I thought maybe, I didn't have enough information, I certainly didn't want to correct the guy, but I thought, that's not the way I would do that. And that's okay. We don't have to all do things the same. In all fairness, I will say he's a professional fabricator, so he probably has a plan. And if I was watching the whole build series, I probably would get where he was going and what he was planning to do. But point being, again, is I learned what I wanted to learn from the video. It caused me to think. It caused me to rethink what I was doing. And even though I didn't agree with everything that I saw, I learned enough from it to apply it to what I'm going to be doing on the project when I build my vehicle on my chassis table. So I'm going to say this. If you're a viewer on my channel or many other channels, cut us a little slack, because we do misspeak ourselves. And of course, I love it when I'm corrected kindly and said, hey, dipstick, I think you got that wrong. I'm fine with that. Because again, I don't know everything, and sometimes I say stuff and I didn't even realize I said it, or I didn't realize until later that I said it incorrectly. If you are a YouTuber, small, large, whatever, we're not talking about body size, I'm talking about channel size, small, large channel, whatever it is, don't be afraid. Don't feel like you have to go back and correct everything. Trust your viewers to be intelligent and to know that, first of all, they can probably interpret that you misspoke yourself, or maybe you really didn't know what you were talking about, and they'll get that too, and that's okay. All right, well, that's going to do it for this one. Remember the 3 rules around My Car Shop when you're building stuff. They're important ones. I'm trying to circle back around to these a lot more often. Safety, safety, fun. Build it safe, be safe building it, and have fun while you're doing it. Those are the keys to a successful build. And
Nothing else matters.
we're over on the Face thing, /My Car Shop. We're here on the You thing, of course, because you're watching. Hey, subscribe, hit the bell, make a comment, share the videos, share the channel with other people you think would be interested. That's the fastest way to help our channel grow, to move forward everything that we're doing here. And of course, Instant Grandma, she loves us and gives us cookies and stuff, /My Car Shop. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.